Well, the foundation of our family is our marriage. And before we got married, it was, we knew and had talked about when we have a family that this is how we're going to raise our family, how we will be in our marriage, and have our children be part of the church. And so it has been integral in our lives to attend Mass at least weekly and be part of the church, participate with the church, and then, of course, have the Eucharist be the focus. And so we were excited with each child to go through the sacraments, and First Communion, it was incredibly exciting for all of them. We want to make sure that they feel the love of the church and experience with the community the beauty that is the Eucharist. And then we teach them, here at church and of course at home, the importance of why we do what we do, why we practice our faith. I love the word practice our faith because we all have moments of doubt or wandering minds. And so I need to be reminded as much as I can the importance of the Eucharist, the importance of the teachings of our faith. And so we want to, of course, encourage that with our children in hopes that they grow up and continue on this path.
We both came into the church at St. Martin of Tours, and I know that between us, we've probably both been to adoration there on more than one occasion. And so I think that adoration is a big part of what Catholics need to rediscover if they haven't already. Sitting for that hour, with Christ. And, one thing that just was very a moment that I can think of was right after Sam was born. My brother and sister-in-law were both due, but they knew that the child had trisomy, so they knew that he wouldn't live long. So a few days after Sam was born, Job was born, and he lived only for a few hours. I went from the hospital with my newborn to the hospital with my nephew who was dying. And then I went to St. Martin's and just sat with Christ. And, we give him thanks for what he's given me. And I told him to welcome my nephew. So, yeah.
And we've had, as any family does, personal challenges and moments that have been very difficult. Job's birth and death, and other things that have come up with our lives. And the Eucharist absolutely is that just a moment of true peace and an anchor in my life, and I know in Michael's and the children's, where I know what I'm getting. And there's no doubt in my mind when I come and I receive, Jesus is with me. And one of my favorite things that Jesus tells us is, I am with you always until the end of the age. And I hold on to that so, so dearly. And I know that he is reminding me of that every time I receive the Eucharist.